Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Bone Blade. Today we're going to be showing the tower COG ship defensive tactic. This tactic is really the double tower, or you can even say two tower, let's not say twin tower, defensive tactic. You can also call it the Eiffel Tower defensive tactic, since we're going to tag team them. And it is Vlandia, so we want to keep the Butter Kingdom in charge. If you have two COG ships, you can put them facing opposite directions. This allows both platforms to fire simultaneously, no matter what side they're being boarded. Yeah, so it's a really good defensive tactic. If you also want to do this with multiple COG ships, you can. That way they're not blocking each other's point of view when you're putting them next to each other, due to their platforms being, of course, the same height. So now no matter what side they attack us from, we're going to be firing at them, and they're likely going to board one side. Since we only have two ships, they're very unlikely to ram. They could ram us, but if they rammed us, they would likely also could just get stuck in the middle. And if they rammed us on the side, they'd probably end up boarding us anyways, and really not kill that many. Maybe a few at most. So the ship that gets boarded, this ship is going to be the one that does most of the melee fighting, while the ship that doesn't get boarded, in this case, will do the least of the melee fighting. Now, if they had two ships, both sides could end up getting involved in the melee fighting, yet still our men are able to fire in all directions. So that's why if you're fighting multiple ships, and you have multiple ships, more than two I would say, you could also try doing the wall tactic, which I will cover in the next video. So we have one ship with the stern facing the enemy and one ship with the bow facing the enemy. In this tactic, well, in the wall tactic, it will be slightly different. We covered all these tactics in the last COG ship video summary. However, I wanted to show these in more pristine form in a custom battle. The other stuff was gameplay and had mixed troops. As you can see here, we're racking in the kills already, as those Nata are slaying the Imperial Nate. Now these men are all going straight for the melee because they are being boarded, so the AI does that. If I also told them to make sure they're getting involved there to stop them. And we're going to still keep getting kills from our troops on the other side, and we're getting massive amounts of kills. The other killing some of our guys, but we're holding them back. The Nata are very good in defense, largely because of their shields, and they're good in range. I think that the Nata are superior to the Nate. And as you can see here, the COG ships as well are in quite pristine form, working to our advantage. We're just racking in kills still. And for those of you who don't know, the bow of the ship is the front of the ship and the stern is the rear of the ship. We're going to cover information like this in future videos as well. Now at this point, a lot of my men aren't even they're not even shooting anymore. Maybe they're out of bolts. At this point you could charge the men, especially since the other men are largely also been slain in the other crew. To avoid losing too many men in the other melee and to use all your men to the advantage, I would charge them before the second ship runs out of bolts, and also preferably I would prefer that you also have refill stacks on your ships for the COG ships, especially since they don't have artillery. You should make sure they always have ammunition refill stacks. Really, all your ships should have ammunition refill stacks, especially if they're your main advantage of your strategy for your faction. It's a naval strategy. If it's using a lot of projectiles, so you need to have a lot of ammunition, so logically. So we're gonna have these men charge and just finish off the last 12 guys. As you can see here, the battle's over already. We just shot them to death. So if you're trying to use this tactic, I would tell them to charge to help out your other men before all your other men die and these guys run out of bolts. But I just want to show how much damage you could just do with one ship firing the whole time, just to show how effective this is without just having them, you know, all charge at once, which is just a standard of a lot of Mountain Blade gameplay. However, in this tactic you do have to do it eventually, especially if your men on the other ship are getting coked and you're running out of bolts. But in this case, it's also just good to show how much damage you can do. I mean, look at all these Nata. They could not outmatch the Nata on the COG ship. The Great Drone one has failed them. And we're also going to cover future battles like this, showing different tactics for COG ships and other ships in the game, other factions. We're going to do a whole Vlandian playlist, and we're going to do larger battles, so stay tuned. We're going to have more videos soon. We're going to show also some other COG ship tactics soon in the next 2 videos. So stay tuned and like and subscribe. Follow Bone Blade for more. Thank you all.